Congressman, thank you for joining us. Let's get right to it. Do you know why Thomas Matthew Crooks fired at Donald Trump July 13th?
Well, we don't have information about the motives of the gunman in this situation. That's one area that we pushed the Department of Justice and the FBI to provide us information. They did not yet provide us that information because that is the subject of an ongoing criminal investigation. So we're actually disputing that with DOJ right now. We believe that congressional authority is preeminent on these matters, and they should provide that. But what we do know is we have a complete understanding, of all of the actions by Secret Service, by the campaign, by all the other actors leading up to the shooting, during the shooting, and the actions afterwards. And we saw the cascading series of failures that occurred that day, and that's the bulk of our report.
So was this a one-off or two one-offs, I guess, or is there a bigger problem with how the Secret Service operates?
Well, there is a bigger problem. In our 180-page report clearly shows that, actually. That you have to look at this a couple of different ways. There were challenges and failures on July 13th with the Secret Service. People that knew what they had to do, were given very clear directives and had jobs, and they failed to do it. And that's a cultural issue. But there was also a larger structural issue at play here. The Secret Service is overtasked, it's under-resourced, it's at a breaking point in a time of extreme risk and lots of challenges facing elected officials and a very high operational tempo. There's a lot of events that happen now, a lot more than 10, 15 years ago. The Secret Service itself really hasn't changed a lot in the last decade. So we looked at the structure of it, we looked at how it operates, we looked at its culture, a very holistic review performed by our task force.
So just protecting too many people?
Well, it's a complicated set of facts here, right? There's a lot of people that they're asked to actually protect, right? So the number of protectees that are under the jurisdiction of the Secret Service is one of the problems. The second is the pace, right? You have a lot more events than you had just a decade ago. Elected officials, people running for office, they do more, they're out more publicly, the events are larger. And you compare that to the moment that we're in, a moment of extreme tension, threats against elected officials. For example, members of Congress get 4 times as many threats than they did just a couple of years ago. So it's really a perfect storm of increased threats, increased operational tempo, a lot more events, and an overtasked Secret Service.
So, maybe just from movies or books or TV shows, but I always thought, and I think a lot of the public thinks, Secret Service is the best of the best. This is a crack team. This is just, you could do no better than they do. Is our perception wrong?
Well, I want to make something really clear here. The vast majority of Secret Service officers are exceptional people. They are purpose-driven. They decide to do this for patriotic reasons. They are professionals, and they show up every day, ready to give their life for the president and for the people that they protect. And that's incredible. And I think we should make sure that we hold that up and we thank them for that. But there are very real problems with the structure of the Secret Service, with leadership within the Secret Service, and the culture that has permeated down. And that's what we really saw on July 13th. You saw a lot of people doing their job, but you saw gaps in the assignments, lack of coordination, lack of communication. I learned as an Army Ranger that unless you have good communication and you have clear command and control, everything else kind of falls apart. And that's certainly what happened on July 13th.
So, and maybe this is too simplistic a question, but do you trust the Secret Service to protect the president and others it's tasked to protect?
Well, Shannon, my job is not to trust agencies and departments that I'm tasked with overseeing. My job is to ask tough questions, never take anything for granted, and to push those departments and agencies to do better, to make sure that they're not making mistakes and that they're being good stewards of taxpayer money, but they're also Colorado and should have complete confidence that their elected officials, that our campaigns will be solved at the ballot box and not with bullets and not by a gunman. So my job is to continue to ask those tough questions and to push to make sure that's the case.
And just a couple more things, Congressman. And this is theoretical, and I understand that, but I think it's it speaks to just the importance of the job they're doing. Did you or the task force ever take a second to consider what the fallout would have been had he not missed that shot?
Well, how could you not, right? How could you not think about that? And it came so close to really a catastrophic event for America. You know, what that would have plunged America into, and in the middle of a very heated campaign season. You know, it's a thought that I know a lot of people have thought about, and certainly we're glad that we're in a position where, you know, a gunman did not take away Americans' right to actually decide this election.
And I know the report just came out. In fact, as we're recording this just an hour ago, I think you dropped it. But some of the early changes that that Roe has made for the sorry, I have an echo, so it's a little distracting. That Roe has made for the agency. Are you satisfied with the changes they have made so far? And do you expect more to be made?
I believe that Acting Director Rowe is taking this seriously. So the after action report, or it's called a mission assurance review, is what the Secret Service calls it, which is their assessment of what went wrong. I think it's pretty thorough. In our hearing last week, which was our task force last hearing, Director Rowe came in and he took responsibility. He said this is unacceptable. He didn't try to make excuses. He didn't get defensive. He is saying all the right things. So I think that is a good start. But again, my job is to make sure that show of responsibility and the words by Acting Director Rowe and others actually translate into action, and that's the hard work ahead for us.
And the final question, Congressman, what was the biggest surprise to you personally that you discovered during this work on the task force?
Yeah, I think it was the culture of folks not speaking up and stepping up, right? There's a lot of people that day who knew there were things wrong, knew that there were gaps in the security plan, and yet they didn't speak up. You know, when I was in the Army, there's a culture in the military that if you're out in a training range, if you're doing firearms training, or if you're actually on a combat mission, you know, the lowest private can speak up and say, hey, something is wrong here, right? You have to create that permission structure for people to do that. And even when we go on planes, you know, every time a Coloradan steps on a plane, you know, they should know that every person in that cockpit has the right to speak up if they see something unsafe and can tell the captain, you know what, this is a problem. And that didn't happen with the Secret Service. That's a cultural issue, and I was really surprised by that. And that's something that we're going to have to work hard to push the Secret Service to change in the years ahead.
Last thing for you. On Assassination, what were those socks you were wearing? Some sort of like bipartisan looking sock. I could just see it every once in a while, but I was like, is that a donkey and an elephant?
Those are my Democrat donkey socks, Shannon. That's what they were.
That was good. Jason Crow,
I try to spice it up with socks.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Strong sock game.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I have a strong sock game. I try to always bring my sock heat.
Bringing the A game. Well, thanks for your time. Yeah. It was a pleasure, and all of us thank you for your work on this task force. That was no easy task. So.